Hey there, magic monsters. What are you doing? How are you doing? I'm doing great. I just ate a very quick grilled cheese sandwich that wasn't as grilled as one might want. It was still tasty. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here. Um, I want to get right into it, but feel free to ask any questions. I know some of you might be coming from the Game Dev Show, so if you have any questions for me in this project, feel free to ask in the chat and give a thumbs up and give a subscribe. I always appreciate that. And yeah, so I'm gonna get right into it. What I'm doing today? Excuse me, I got some bread stuck in my mouth. I also have an iced coffee here. Wonderful. So what we're doing today is working on this movement system and for the bad guys. And you can see it here. I've got top down, so you can see the red line means the bad guys can see me, so they're coming towards me. The pink lines are where they're going to walk towards. They're choosing random spots to walk towards. And when they get close enough, they're going to come right up to me and attack me. And as you can see, I'm being swarmed by goblins who are attacking me. Now, this is not exactly what I'm looking to have them do. This is too much, too chaotic. This one's swinging onto the brick for some reason, and all this other stuff. And their animation triggers or animation events are not working properly, but that's okay. So there's a couple things I need to do here, and they're doing crazy stuff. So the thing is that my player has 8 spots around them. And this is what I need to do. I need to set these 8 spots up properly. So I got my attack positions here. And they're all around the player. You can see them kind of faint right there. If I select them there a little bit, well, still faint. But those are the spots. And this is what I basically want each bad guy to come up to one of those spots and choose one. And I think they are choosing one, but the problem is, well, they're not acting like they're choosing one. And so I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this yet, actually. I know I had it working before, a while ago, like over a year ago. So that's what I'm going to do. And feel free to ask questions along the way or chat amongst yourselves. And definitely like and subscribe, and thank you for joining. Give a thumbs up. That's super helpful, as always. Recovery time. All right. So this is our melee attack. We're just doing the attack here. Let's see. Make a decision. That's great. Now, I want to make sure that they're actually getting to the attacks positions, and that's this script right here. I updated it during the last stream to create an attack positions class, or an attack position class rather, with the spot and the actor that's in it, and that made this a little bit of a better bit of code. And so I want to make sure that the bad guys get attached here. So let's see. Where are my action alerts? This is a real time. So this game is real time and turn based. And so this script I'm working on right now is the real time version of this script. And so attack position. All right. So this is where we choose a spot closest to the player. Excellent. All right, we set our next decision time. We toggle our nav mesh to on. This is just walking towards the player. So if we are less than 5 meters away, we're going to find an attack position and set the destination to that. Okay. And I suppose what we need is an attack position here then. And since we might move from turn-based to real-time, I'm going to hold that information in my actor actions up here. So we're just going to say private game yeah, we're going to say private attack position, and then what will we do on our actions alert? So if the spot's available, okay, I see. So if there is no spot available, then we're just going to set the destination to the player position. And we should probably say nav mesh agent dot stopping distance is equal to 2, just to keep them away. Otherwise, we're going to, let's see, fine, let me clear these out. We're going to get the closest attack position, and we're going to set our destination there, and we're going to make this actor the spot there, and we're also going to keep track of it on the actor itself. So actor or attack, what was it? Actor actions dot attack position equals game object. Oh no, equals closest attack position, and this probably needs to become public. Yeah, so we don't need to make it formally serialized as. Okay. So this should be keeping track. Now when we switch between real-time and turn-based, it will remember what position it's assigned to, if it is assigned to one. And then we set our destination right here to that. So I'm going to move this one down just to keep that logical for my brain. And we're also going to say navmesh agent.stopping distance. Stopping distance equals 0.5. Let's see if that works. And then if we have this right here and we're just going to a new destination, then we're going to say navmesh agent.stopping distance is equal to 1. And that way they can stop within 1 meter of that destination. And let's see. So now I want to make sure they don't attack if they don't have an attack position. The melee attacks, just you have to be in one of those spots, I think. Maybe I'll change that later, but for now, to avoid all that mess of the actors going cray-cray, we should make sure that if not actor actions dot attack position, actually we'll say if that's null. So if they're not in an attack position, then return false. So they can't do a melee attack unless they're in that position. And they have to be within the melee range, and then it should be okay. And then I do want to handle looking at the player. That was the other thing that I noticed when it was pressing play, that these bad guys weren't always looking at me, which was a problem. That's definitely a problem. So I think what we want to do is handle look at player. And for this one, we'll just do that here, private void handle look at player. And if we're yeah, we're gonna say we might have to handle this with range distance too. We'll say, how about this? If is in range distance or is in melee distance, and for this one, and has attack position, turn fall. So actually we're going to flip this around. negate that. So, all right, is that right? If we're not in range distance, wait, yeah, I'm confusing myself now. Okay, we'll keep it as this. Yeah, instead of doing the return, let's just do it like this for now. Okay. All right, so these can be deleted. I always forget order of operations. All right, so if we're in range distance or we're in melee and we have an attack position, then we will look at the player. So we'll say, what is it? Transform.look@, and game.player_position plus game. Actually, not look at player position. We're going to look at the let's see. So we don't actually want to look at the player position because that's the ground. We want to look at the player position, but really, yeah. So player position +1 should work for now. Whoops. Game dot player position. Hello, Hilton. How are you doing today? Player position plus vector 3 up. We'll do that. Well, actually, let's just try player position and we'll see if that works. All right, and then we have to build these out. So these are going to be, let's see. Yeah, we'll make these private for now. Bool is in range distance. And this is going to be if the distance to player is less than or equal to range distance, and we have bow equipped. So we're returning true if both of these are true, otherwise false. So now this area down here, instead of doing that here, I can just say if not is in range distance, then return false. Now let's do melee distance. Private bool is in melee distance, and this is going to be we're returning actor actions dot distance to player is less than melee, less than or equal to melee distance, and actor.player.has weapon equipped, and actually we'll keep it there, and then we will do the has attack. So private bool has attack position is just going to be actor actions oops dot attack position does not equal to null. All right, so now we got our three things there. I think we can make these like this. There we go. All right, so now we should look at the player position, and for these we can do our thing here. So again, both of these are now combined into is in melee distance, and this is going to be has attack position, and I got to actually negate these. So if it's not those, then we return false. So now how do we negate this one? Since there are multiple things, we won't look at the player if we are not in range distance. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it there. Let's just see how it works. Give it a test. I did not. Nobody asked me to go through the new system. I was waiting for somebody to say, hey, Andrew, will you go through that new system? It's not really a huge system. It's just a little bit of math. I can show it if people want. You just have to tell me. And you have to give a thumbs up because there's 21 watching, but only 11 thumbs up, and that means 10 of you don't like me. I like you, but, you know, you guys don't like me, so I don't know. All right. Goblins are coming towards me. Goblins are. What are they doing? Interesting. What are they doing? Are they going to go around me and go to their attack positions? They seem to be moving very slowly. Well, that's not quite right. And then nobody's... Are they even looking at me? They're avoiding eye contact. All right. Well, there's a lot going on here that needs to be addressed, it looks like. See, if you were in America, then the weekend wouldn't be over because tomorrow is a holiday. So, yeah. But sure, Oliver, I'll go through that new system. So you can see it in practice when I press play here. And you can see these little pink lines coming through. And the pink lines indicate where the bad guys want to go in the direction of the player. But they're not going to go straight to the player. They're going to choose these other directions and go there instead. So as they get closer to the player, you'll see them kind of zigzagging back and forth, not quite going on a straight line. Like you can see this one back here. Sometimes they go more straight. Sometimes they'll go more to the side. But somewhere on I think for these, a 55-degree either direction curve. So to achieve that, we've got the code here for our alert, where we just get a new position to player. And this is very nice because all it calls is this get position forward with angle method. So this method, we're passing in the move toward player angle, which is 55. I've set that to 55. We're saying the transform that we're going from. So this is going to be the bad guy. The thing that they're going towards, in this case, the player. The distance of how far away the position will be, and whether we draw that line, that pink line. So if we look at this, it does just right here. So feel free to take a screenshot of that. But we basically get we cache our from position. We use it twice, and so it's slightly more efficient, I suppose. That's what Ryder said, at least. So we cache this from position. That's from our goblin in this case. And then we get a new direction with the angle. And to do that, we get this. This is the bit I found on the internet that I don't fully understand, the Quaternion Euler bit. But essentially, we pass in our random angle. So this is 55. So we go negative 55 to 55. This can be to the left or to the right up to 55 degrees. So it's really a 110-degree area. And we're going to multiply this Euler, which is, I suppose, an angle, a Euler angle, I suppose. What does it say right here, actually? Returns a rotation. Yeah, okay. A rotation that rotates z degrees around the z-axis, etc., etc. So this gives you a rotation. And then we multiply that by our direction normalized. So this is going to be our direction from and to. Now, this is, of course, another method here that I have right up here. And you can see that direction is going to be the to position minus the from position. Those are vector 3s. And then divide that by the distance from the to position to the from position. And if you want to see distance, it's very simple. Position 1 minus position 2 magnitude. So that's those little helper things there. And then, so we just multiply the angle, the rotation by the direction. And then we get a new position by taking our from position and then adding that multiplication of direction with angle times distance, which is 10 by default. And then we draw a line there if we're drawing a line and return that new position. So that's how that works. You will be tested on it. Yep. So I don't think these bad guys are actually getting their attack positions. I'm gonna see that. I think they should be exposed in the inspector. So I'm just gonna pause it real quick. Get one of these that's closest to me. This one will probably be a close candidate for an attack spot. Find my script here, actor actions. And it doesn't look like we have that exposed. Why not? Why not? Actor actions. It is public, but I bet it's not serializable. Yeah. So system.serializable. Without that, it won't show in the inspector. So that's important. Because I want it to show in the inspector, don't I? You're welcome, Oliver. Ooh, I've got an iced coffee here that is not as iced because it was hot coffee. And I ran out of ice. Oops, I forgot to make ice. All right, now I gotta start again, I think, and we'll go again. And here we go. There we go. So let's get this goblin again. This goblin-y goop. And scroll down, scroll down. Attack position. Okay. So we should see this choose one as it gets closer. And I'm going to help it out. And it doesn't seem to have done that. Oh, but look at that. It's definitely looking at the wrong spot. Interesting, though, that last time I pressed play, none of them attacked. So I don't know what's going on there, and it doesn't appear that they have a spot. So, yes, there's multiple things going on here that need to be addressed. All right. So the first thing is, why is this doing the look at when it shouldn't be? As far as I'm concerned, it shouldn't be doing the look at. Look at. Action alert. Handle, look at player. So if we are in range distance or in melee distance and we have attack position. And this is actually not going to be that. I'm going to have to handle it differently for range. To do handle range position. Because that's going to be when they're attacking. Is for the real time, they really only need to look at the player when they're attacking with the range. When they're not attacking with the range, they don't need to look at the player because they're going to be moving perhaps towards the player or around the player at some distance. All right, so now is in melee distance and has attack position. Then you look at the player position. Yep, and so I think to make them not rotate like that, we need the Y to be equal to there. So var new look at position equals game dot player position. Whoops, new vector 3 game dot player position dot x, and then transform dot position dot y. Then play game dot player position dot z. So that should be looking at our own y. So whatever y we're at, whatever height we're at, we'll keep looking at that. And that means they shouldn't tilt up and down, I believe. I hope. We'll see. And the other thing is, it didn't appear that they had an attack position at all. Oh, you know what? You know what? Attack position dot spot. I see. Yes. So, I see. I think I see. So really, what we're looking at. This is not the way to do it. I don't think I want actually. Turns out, to hold the attack position here. That is not the way I want to do it. Instead, what I want to do is hold an int. Index. So it's going to be attack position index. And we're going to make that -1. And then we're going to say if the index is greater than or equal to 0, then we have an attack position. And then down here, attack, let's see, closest position. Okay. So this is where we're going to add something here. We need to get the index back from this. So we could get make this a, what is it, tuple or something like that, where we get back an int, or we'll say an attack position and an int. And we can say var index equals -1, and we'll return these two. And so instead of doing a for each like this, so I could do that, but I'm not going to do that. All right, change my mind. I'm going to instead create a new one called public int spot index, and this is going to be passing an attack position, and then we're going to go to positions dot index of attack position. So position, there we go, index of position. Okay, that'll just give us the index of that. So that is probably a better way of doing it, I would think. So player attack positions dot spot index of closest attack position. All right, that should do some tricks. Let's see. Let's see what it does. All right, so again, I'm going to pause real quick, select this closest goblin, who will probably get to me the closest. Look at their attack action. So attack position index should change to, did not change at all. Well then. Well then, why didn't it change? Let's dig into that. All right. Why didn't it change? Choose position closest to player. Distance to players under 5. We've been seeing that happen. So, interesting. If no spot is available, then we do this, and so I'm going to just debug.log no spot is available, just to see if that spits out a lot. And then for this one, we'll spit out debug.log. Got index actor actions dot attack position index. All right, so yeah. Yeah, okay, and just to be super clear here, debug.log distance to player is that get new position. I don't need to spell things right. Yes, so that's a good question. Instead of predefined attack position, the target could influence the attacker's nav mesh agent stopping distance. Yes, the problem I faced when I first implemented these attack positions was the characters were not, the bad guys were not playing along, essentially. They would kind of stack up against each other, get right behind each other, and then start attacking through somebody, and so on. And so these attack positions ended up being the solution. I made that, oh, here we go. I made that code before, and it worked. So I'm just redoing it, basically. So no spot is available. So let's dig into this. Interesting. Let me look at my player spots. It's saying that there's none that are null. Kind of don't believe it. I think it's here. Player attack positions. Okay. Ah, well that would make a lot of sense. So our player attack positions are empty. That explains that. All right. So we actually need to add 8 of these. And then populate them with our attack positions here. All right, so spot 1. So Unity has this bug going on. It's very frustrating, very annoying. But there you go. Spot 2. Oop, this is spot 3. Spot 2. Spot 4. 5. 6. 7 and 8. Okay, so we're gonna then do our override on this to save that to our prefab and press play again and see if that solves all the world's problems. Do you know it's cold today? It's 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside and it's summer in an area where it's usually 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Ah, got index 7. Okay. There we go. Now, if I come back over here, let's see if they figure it out. See, we can already see this guy was not quite doing his thing. This one's moving extremely slowly. Alright, so this is what we need to do. We need to not have them get so close to the player. So if they don't have a spot, then they're not gonna. I'm gonna make them go pretty far away for now, and we can bring it back later and get them closer later. But for now, so if no spots available, then we're gonna choose a random spot around the player, and so we're gonna use that fancy thing that we had, this get position forward with angle. Maybe I'll make a variation of this actually. Let's see if we can make a variation of this, because what I really want is a random position around the player. So we're going to say get position around transform. And we're going to pass in, we don't need our angle. This is going to be negative 180 to 180. And we don't need our direction either. So we don't need a from. We do need the transform. And we do need the distance. But for this one, I'm going to say float min distance and max distance. Alright, so we don't need our from position. And since we don't need that, we don't need the direction. So we don't need to multiply this rotation by a direction. So the new position is going to be the direction times random.range min distance max distance. Why doesn't that work? Didn't we just have... Interesting. So what's going on here? Okay. If I keep this in, do I get the same error? No. Oh, interesting. So this direction with angle only works if I have a direction there. Okay, well, we'll pass in this and it should be, that should still work. We'll try that and see if it works. New position equals that, random distance. In fact, you know, I kind of want to change this to include that same concept, so I'm going to do that. And we'll say equals 10f, and this is going to be max distance. Alright, so we're going to have some errors on my other script now. Okay, draw a line from the transform position to the new position, and instead of magenta for this one, we'll make it yellow just to change it up. Alright, and that should do the trick. Now I've got my error here because I changed my thing, so we need to say 10f as well there. Okay. So now we're going to say let's see, var new position equals legend utilities dot get position around transform, and we're going to pass in the game dot player. Wait, do we need a transform or can it just be a position? Let's see. Transform position. No, it can just be a position. So we'll say vector 3 and we'll say position. And so we can change these to just position. And then this can be just player position. And what else do we need? Min and max distance. For all that, we'll do 10f and 10f and true because I want to see that line. And instead of 10, I guess we can do 6 to 10, and we'll just see how that works. So the set destination will now be this new position, stopping distance 1f, and we'll see if that does something. Oh, hi Merrick, how are you? So they don't disable themselves. That's an interesting thing to add at some point in the future. I think also at some point in the future I'm going to have to add bigger spots around those smaller spots for bigger bad guys, because the small spots are great for small bad guys who are the same size as the player, give or take, but isn't necessarily good for much larger ones. All right, so we see a yellow line, meaning they're going around the player. They're getting a spot around the player, but they also seem to be I wonder if that's not. Maybe that's the. Maybe they're the ones going into the attack position. Let's see. Let me move away. Okay, yeah, those are ones going for their attack position. I should have used a different color than yellow, it turns out. So what we're seeing here is that these ones have an attack position. You can see them going there, but I have a couple problems. One is these aren't obstacles yet, and I think, oh, nice. It's a good weekend for the grill. So we do see this one finding a spot. Whoa. Way out there. Okay, so that's an issue. Okay, let's fix that first before I forget. So the issue is their spot was way out there, and what we need is to make this new position is going to be position plus that. Because otherwise it was just going to be near world 0, I think. So that should fix that. The other thing that we need to address is that these bad guys don't have an obstacle. They aren't an obstacle, rather. So if we look at our go-to tester one, we can't make this an obstacle because whenever you have that, it throws this warning here that you can have erroneous behavior. So obstacle is turned off. In fact, I should just remove it from this, and then let's open up the prefab, see what we got here. So, I wonder if we can just add on the root here. Obstacle. Nav mesh obstacle. Shape is a capsule. Let's make it higher and make this radius a 0.6 maybe, just to keep it a fairly wide obstacle. Oops, 1, height 2. What does carve do? Does it have a tooltip? The obstacle cuts a hole in the nav mesh around it. No, I don't think we want to do that. Alright, so let's save that prefab and press play and see if they now go around each other. That's what we want to see, because previously we just saw them trying to go in a straight line, and then that doesn't work. They need to go around each other to find their spot and not really attack until they get to their spot. I think I might need to have another check for distance to see if they're distance to their spot, essentially. So let's see. So now people are gathering around. They're finding their spots. This one, will this one? Oh, that one did not find its spot. Its spot's probably over here. So he should not be attacking. He's too far away. But let's see these other ones, what they do. They're not really going around like I wanted them to. Look at me being attacked by these goblins. Okay, let's see what they do. Whoa. That was weird. I just turned around and smacked him. Alright, there's still a lot going on here. There's a lot of shakiness that needs to be addressed. There's a lot of them crowding that needs to be addressed. There's whatever's happening here where I'm pushing them away that needs to be addressed. That's my new spin attack, I guess. Haha! That's not supposed to happen. So they're colliding and having a physics reaction, so I need to turn that off for these. I do want them to collide because I don't want to be able to walk through, but I kind of want it to be like I can't walk through. So I need to figure out how to make them collide, but also they need to be heavier so I can't do this. Yep. And then these other ones should be going to other spots, but they're not. And why are they all moving so damn slow? Like this one. What is this one doing? Oh, their locomotion is tiny. That's why. I see. So, yeah, they get their locomotion from the nav mesh, but yeah. Okay. Well, geez. Color dot. I guess we'll do cyan. All right. All right. Let me move this down here. We'll go to position, new position. And we're going to do color equals RGB. Okay. Yeah, so now I need the distance to the attack position. So we have distance to player. But we need distance to attack position. So when we ask for that, we will say private float distance to attack position. And this is going to be attack position dot index is greater than or equal to 0 or is less than 0. If so, then we return I don't know, what would we return? -1, I guess. Otherwise, we're going to return the legend utilities dot distance between transform dot position and attack player game dot player attack positions dot player attack positions dot positions attack position index dot spot dot position. That's a mouthful. All right. So if we have an attack position, then we will return the distance to it. All right. So one thing I want to check here as well is handle attack position. So private void handle attack position. So if we don't have one, we'll return. So if not has attack position, return. Otherwise, if distance or actor actions dot distance to attack position is greater than 5 f. What is this? Oh, it wasn't public. So if it's greater than 5f, then we will remove ourselves from the attack position. And to do that, we will say actor actions dot attack position equals -1. But before we do that, we will say player attack positions dot player attack positions dot positions actor actions dot attack position index dot actor equals null. So I'm going to change this, and instead we're going to say player attack positions dot clear position, and then pass in attack actor actions dot attack positions index, and we'll make this into a method to clear it out on that class. And so here we're simply going to say, and I understand this in is a bug with Rider, so I've been told by Merrick and others, or mostly Merrick, I think. And so for this one, clear position is going to be positions, we'll change this to just index dot clear position, and we'll do this, and then create this, and here we will simply say actor equals null. There we go. So that will clear our position. So now if the player attack, or if the enemy is more than 5 away from the attack, that means we ran away, then it's just going to clear itself from that position, and that way it can get a new position or something. All right, so the other thing I want to do is say they can't attack unless they're really close to their attack position. So melee attack, if melee attack. So if we don't have a position, we'll return false. And now if the distance is greater than, say, 0.5 f, then return false. All right. So that should mean that if they're not close to that position, they will not attack, even if they're close to the player. And that's to ensure that they don't like try to stab through other characters. That we want them to go to that spot before they attack. That's the goal. All right. We're being swarmed. Okay, so this one should go. They're clearly, see, they're not going around. And maybe is my player not my player is probably not a obstacle. Let's just add that real quick and see what happens. Definition obstacle, shape capsule. One. Oops, my alarm went off. That was from yesterday, though. Whoa. Here's my. Okay. So 0. Radius is going to be 0.75. It can be a bit bigger, 0.8. There we go. Okay. Will they try to go around it now? See, they don't seem to be wanting to go around things. And it is an obstacle. All right, let's try again. If I come out here, we should see some yellows disappearing, but it doesn't appear to be like they disappeared. This one's definitely more than 5 units away. So we should see... Oh, yeah, -1. Okay, so apparently... I'm not sure where the yellow is coming from, but... Alright. I think it's still trying to walk through me. This is that baffles me. Huh. Huh. Like this one is trying to go, I think, through the player. And there's more than 8 of them around here, so some of them should be going to a different spot, but they're not. Look, they're all going to the same position, so I don't think this is returning a position like I was expecting. So I think this is not working as expected. Perhaps because of this whole direction thing, not sure. If I remove this, though, we have an error here. Dot normalized, is that? No. Somehow when I multiply it by a direction, then I get a vector 3. But otherwise, this is a quaternion. Convert a quaternion to a vector 3. How do you do that? New. Unity 3D, convert quaternion to vector 3. Well, let's look here. Quaternion times vector 3 takes a given vector and rotates according to given rotation. So if your R is basically transform, you can also use the transform forward equals transform rotation times vector 3 forward. Okay, so I guess vector 3 dot 1. Would it be vector 3.1 or vector 3.0? I don't know. And then it works down here. All right. Position plus direction with angle times the distance. All right. Let's see if that does anything. Nav mesh avoidance section on enemies. Yes, I can show that in just a bit. First, let me come out here. Nav mesh stuff always kind of annoys and confuses me. Alright, so we're getting the cyan things where they're going off to different locations. Interesting, oh gosh, that they're happening from this middle portion. Why are they happening? Oh, because that's from the player's position to, yeah, to wherever they're going to go. All right, so now it's nice that those outside ones are not trying to go crazy and attack me, and they're just kind of swarming around waiting their sweet turn. All right, we wanted to see the... We wanted to see the nav mesh agents avoidance section, right? What is that exactly? So we've got this bad guy. Nav mesh agents. What are we looking for? Maybe on the inspector. Obstacle avoidance. Radius 1, high quality. Default settings, essentially. I didn't change these. See, so they're not actually going to their attack positions. They shouldn't even be getting this close to the player based on the attack positions. Oh. Got too many arrows going on too. So in this one, I'm just going to make this a little smaller. We're going to make it 5F and 6F, and we won't draw the line. Oops. Will not draw the line. Let's see. Dot yellow. No, I'm looking for where. Here we go. So draw a line. If the actor is null, otherwise draw a line from the spot position to the actor transform position. Okay, we're going to make this gray. And I'm going to actually look at my code. While I was looking at that, I was just thinking, forgot for a brief moment, but I was thinking, just so I can make sure that, see where this is. So this is on make a decision. This is make a decision only happens if we are not attacking, and this won't happen if we're not there. So on make a decision, one of the decisions it should make is when we choose a spot closer to player, instead of doing that, instead of choosing a spot, we can say if go to attack position, then position, then return. And what is go to attack position? That's a good question. I'm glad you didn't ask. Private bool go to attack position does what it sounds like. We're going to say if we don't have attack position, then return false. And if we do, then we're going to say nav mesh agent dot set position, set destination to attack positions dot positions attack actor actions dot attack position index dot position. Is that right? Dot spot dot position, and I'm going to make a helper bool here, or helper property. Private vector 3 is attack position. Maybe we'll just say attack position, and this is going to be all of this. So that instead of doing all that, we can just write attack position here. So set destination to the attack position and return true. So this is basically saying if we can't melee attack, but we are in the attack position, then we're just going to set our destination to that. And we're not going to choose a new spot. So I'm wondering if maybe one of the mistake I was making is that they were choosing a new spot or something like that. So I'm not even going to do that method if they have an attack position set. All right, getting the mix here. All right, see some gray lines. Oh, look at that. They're still moving too slow. I think I need to handle their speed. This one's trying to go through us, so this is clearly not avoiding the player. Oh, which I turned that off on the player. So let me try turning it on again. And remember to not... All right. Let me try again. Have a good one, Oliver. Have a good 4th of July. in America, he's not American, but he's in America. But he's allowed to celebrate with however he'd like. Everyone can celebrate holidays. All right. So player object here, we want to make an obstacle avoidance or nav mesh obstacle, and it's going to be a capsule, and we're going to make this radius pretty big for now. Yeah, we'll just make it 1 just to say stay away from me. Big time, stay away from me. Alright, press play again. I think I have an old stream from like a year ago, way over a year ago, maybe even longer, that where I figured this stuff out with the older version that I had, but just go back and watch that. Alright, so we got our spots. Are they going to their spots? I don't know. It looks like they might be. This one went to his spot, which is right there. They're not attacking, though, now that they're in their spots. And these ones are now getting different spots, which is nice. So these ones are still not really doing exactly what we wanted them to do. Are they looking at me though? They are looking at me. So that's nice. All this stuttering though. And I mean, it kind of doesn't look like they're... Like, take this one for instance. Let's turn off everything but this one. Work with just one goblin at a time. So he wants to go up there, apparently. Oops. Had my finger in the wrong spot. Alright. This goblin has an attack position. Their distance to player is... they're trying to go to their attack position, apparently. But they won't go around me. So nav mesh agent has speed and angular speed. Yeah, the angular speed. Let's try that. Let's look at that. Speed is actually capped. Well, okay, maybe it's not. Still trying to walk through me. So this it seems like he's trying to go to that side. So if I just go around him like this, he still is like, I don't know. All right. Anyways, so I'm gonna be taking a break now because I am tired, and I think what I need to do. This is what I'm thinking right now. The bad guy is he's clearly not stopping or going to the right spot. So I'm going to, after I take a short nap, I'm going to have only one goblin, and get one goblin to go to the right spot. And make sure just one goblin is able to do that, because right now we got 20 something goblins or something, and it does seem like the agent does not consider the player as an obstacle. That is totally true, and I'm not sure why. So I need to figure that out as well. Maybe there's a something. Not sure. Yeah. You could try this carve too, actually. What is this? Carve only stationary. Oh, I see. Let's just see that real quick before. Alright, so you can actually see it carving right there. So maybe that will change something if I do the carve. Alright, so we see it carving it out right there. Yeah. Alright, so it's still clearly not working. They're getting way too close. They shouldn't be getting this close, and they shouldn't be continuing to walk. So there's just more to do. And first, I'm going to take a nap. So I want to thank you all for participating and joining in the past hour and a half or hour 15 minutes. It's been a blast. I will be streaming again sometime, maybe tomorrow. I think tomorrow morning I've got the day off work because of the July 4 holiday here in the US of A. And yeah, so check that out, and maybe tomorrow morning I will start the stream saying how I fixed all this stuff. We'll see. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my stuff on the asset store, and come to the Discord. All right. Thanks, everybody.